Hi, we're gonna be talking about how to process your mix bus to get a professional sounding mix, as this is the critical last step that you need to take in every single mix. Hi, my name's Tyson. I'm a mastering engineer here at Dinosaur Dog Mastering, and today we're gonna be diving into the mix bus. Processing the mix bus is only the 6th step of the mixing process, and there are 5 steps before that you need to make sure that you get right before you ever process the mix bus. So you can get my ultimate mixing checklist to ensure that you do those other 5 steps of the process correctly in my ultimate mixing checklist. So make sure you're downloading. That is the link in the first line of the description. We'll bring you to a page where you can download that for free. It is my gift to you for watching this video. So let's dive straight into the content of how to process your mix bus once your mix is almost finished. What you should be doing every single time, and also specific parameters that you should be using on your mix bus chain in order to get the best results. What is the purpose of processing the mix bus? Like, what is our actual goal? While most of us understand we should be processing the mix bus, very few of us can actually articulate why we process the mix bus. The first reason why we process the mix bus is we want our mix to be as well sonically balanced as possible before we send it off to mastering. Depending on the mastering engineer's style or preference, they may not be as willing to crank certain frequencies, fix everything inside of the mix. So we want to send the mastering engineer as close as possible to a final mastered song as possible for them to be able to just put those final tweaks and the final sheen on that. That's the first thing, is we want our mix to be sonically balanced. And then number 2 is we want to add glue to our mix because we want it to feel like a cohesive mix, especially if we're not running all of our signal through analog gear, which kind of naturally glues everything together. We want to be able to do that digitally inside of the DAW. The first step we want to do is actually add some pink noise to our mix. This pink noise is going to give us an objective view of what our mix should sound like. So let's play our pink noise and then we'll view it on our analyzer over here. And then we'll be able to have that curve essentially to match with our own song. So let's play this. Okay, that was super loud, but now we have a balanced frequency curve. So let's play our mix and see how closely it actually aligns with our pink noise. We're peaking a little bit in this like 500 to 1K range, and then we're just short of it pretty much everywhere else, and then we're really short of it on the top end. And that's very normal. A lot of times we don't want to overcook the top end, over boost it, because that's going to end up with a lot of harshness inside of our mix. And so what we want to do here on the mix bus is just nudge everything in the right direction. Pull up our EQ. Now we just want to nudge everything in the right direction so that it's more sonically balanced. Pay attention to the other areas of the frequency spectrum as well on what we might need to do there. So let's play it again. Basically everywhere from about 125 hertz and below, I feel like could use a little bit of boost. So let's go ahead and just add that. Our goal is to not boost or cut more than 1 dB in any single area. This is going to prevent us from making massive mistakes. If we're finding ourselves boosting more than 1 decibel in any one area, this likely means that there's a balance issue in our volume. So we need to go back and actually adjust the volume, different elements in our mix to make up for that fact. Cut out that 700 hertz range. Do 1 decibel there. And then we notice that there's a big drop off on the top end. So I'm just gonna do a nice shelf. So here is without that EQ. I still think that there's a lot of weakness in the low end though. As you can tell, it's not making it, we're missing something. So let's go to our mix and find out what we can do. Elements in our low end are gonna be our bass and our kick drum. And so let's play it and we can listen specifically to the low end on what actually is happening here. Okay, so the kick is really strong, but I feel like we're missing some bass. So I'm just gonna bring up the bass because that's ultimately the best way to EQ a mix. Now all of a sudden we have all of that low end back again, bringing a lot of that fullness and kind of foundation for the mix back. I'm liking that. It's sounding really good. Now that we've balanced everything sonically, it's sounding good. I like it, but we still don't have this nice cohesive glue that brings the entire mix together. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a compressor. Compression is the ultimate glue to every single mix, but we're just gonna add a little bit of compression to make sure that this mix feels really, really cohesive. What I want you to do on your mix bus specifically is use a slow attack and auto release. So the auto release should play pretty well with the actual music itself, and the slow attack should be between 50 and 100 milliseconds or so. That's a safe range where you're gonna allow all of those nice percussive hits to come through in your song. You're not gonna be squishing those down. If I use a really fast attack, it's gonna kind of choke those out a little bit. So I wanna allow those to pass through. So I'm gonna be using 50 to 100 milliseconds on my attack. And then my ratio, I'm gonna start with 3 to 1. I go anywhere between 1.5 to 1 to 3 to 1. What my goal is to get 1 decibel of gain reduction or less. I'm not trying to actually make an obvious pumping effect or anything like that with my compression. I don't want to hear this compression, really. Auto release is really actually working pretty well. It's coming right back to 0 before it's coming back. It's just kind of dancing along with the music. And so as long as that's rhythmically dancing, I'm good to go. In recap, remember, add some pink noise to your mix as your reference. Check the balance of your actual instruments and then your compression. Also, again, 1 decibel or less, just add a little bit of glue to the mix so you can keep it cohesive. Don't forget to pick up the Ultimate Mixing Checklist. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.